Good morning, potato chips. Wee Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome to the channel. And another wee video, a day late as normal. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who gave me well wishes from my daughter and my granddaughter. My daughter's grandson, or my grandson to my first daughter who got it, has now caught COVID. But thankfully, the two wee ones are not showing too much at all. They're only 6 and 7, so um, thankfully they're okay. They're playing about, obviously grounded, which is not good for mummies. But my eldest daughter is she's okay. She's having a rough time, but she's not getting any worse, thank God. So thank you so much for your prayers and good wishes. What I'm going to talk about today is the second of two knives that one of my subs, who we shall call David, because that is his name, sent to me, bought and sent to me from Heine, and I just want to thank him again. An immensely generous thing to do, and I am over the moon. This is another great knife from Rough Rider. And they do make great knives. It doesn't matter the price. They just make good knives. And the first thing I want to say is Rough Rider are listening to their buyers. They know traditional people are wanting carbon steel knives as well as stainless steel, but a lot of us love the carbon steel, so they're producing more and more of them, and I love that about them. They're even doing a tool steel D2, great knives that most knife collectors want to use. I love carbon, would much rather have it. Now, there is certain times when stainless is a great choice, but mostly I like carbon on my traditional knives. So it comes in the usual big box, bin. They're just too big. And here's the knife. What a beautiful looking knife. Now, to me, this is a swayback. If you can see, I'm holding that down there, and you can see it's a swayback jack with a ram's foot blade. And this is where there might be a bit of controversy, because there seems to be a confusion. The company that sold this has got Wharncliffe in the description. In the specifications, it has sheep's foot, and it's neither of the two. To me, it's a ram's foot. And here's how I know the difference, or how, I shouldn't have said that. This is how I tell the difference. You can let me know if you think it's wrong. But this is what I was taught earlier on. This to me is a sheep's foot because it's thin at this, or a sheep's foot. I'm doing it now myself. It's a ram's foot because it's thinner at the bottom, thicker at the top. You can see this. I'll put this up against a straight spine, and this is thicker at the top. So it's a ram's foot. Now, GEC brought a ram's foot out this year, and I think it was the first one they'd ever done. And that's how I determine what a ram's foot is. Straight spine, thicker at the top than the bottom, going out this way. That's a ram's foot. A lamb's foot is thicker at the bottom, thinner at the top. Okay? With that termination just going off sometimes you'll get a very rounded end on a lamb's foot, which I like, to be perfectly honest. A sheep's foot, if I put this down here, you can see I put it against a straight spine as well, is where it's the same thickness all the way up and its same termination. That's a sheep's foot, a lamb's foot, a ram's foot. The one that everybody else drags into it is a Wharncliffe for some reason, where the Wharncliffe starts at the back here at the ricasso and is a gentle slope all the way round to the blade with a straight blade shape. Same as these sheep's foot, lamb's foot, and ram's foot. That's how I do it. So we have a ram's foot because it's thinner, thicker. We have a lamb's foot, it's thicker, thinner. We have a sheep's foot, same all the way, and a Wharncliffe, which is a gentle slope down to the end. That's how I do it. Dead simple in my eyes, but it could be wrong, but that's the way I was taught. So there you go. Now, this knife itself, beautiful looking knife. The micarta on this is stunning. It's rough micarta. It really is lovely and rough. Not sharp, but rough. So when you grip hold of it, your fingers do not move at all. Great grip in both the reverse, because it's a swayback. You have a an amazing reverse grip. And if I'm going to cut cardboard with this knife, it will be the reverse grip and the pull towards me. Definitely. That's why a swayback is so good. It is just as comfortable, well, not just as comfortable, it's comfortable this way, but you have to remember that the bulbous end of the knife is going to be in the palm of your hand here. You're not going to get the whole back of the knife. When I hold it like this, it is embedded into my hand nice and tightly for a much better grip. But each knife has a different purpose. This you can use with both hands, or both grips, I should say. It's a beautiful blade shape for work. It really is. It just looks like a working knife. There's nothing penknife about this. It looks like a work knife, and I like that about it. The blade is about just under 3 inches long with a cutting edge of about 2.5, just over 2.5. Perfect for EDC, for anything I would ever want in my day. The blade stock about 2.5 mil, maybe 2 mil, 2.5 mil. Just, absolutely great. Lovely swedge at the top of it, a nail nick with a match strike pull. The detail in a knife this cheap is amazing. You have a blue liner which comes up the side of the knife on top of the brass liners, and it comes over across the top and gives that lovely little hint of blue. But you also get the blue, I don't know whether this is coming out to you or not, you also get that hint of blue going up the spine of the knife as well. And across the bottom you can see it as well. It's just beautiful. It came very gritty. You have to wash them out with oil. That's not a problem. I don't mind doing that at all. This doesn't have a half stop. It's got just a complete cam tang. It sort of stops at the top. It sort of roughly stops there and then goes down. But this is a working knife. I just want to pull it open and use it. Just an absolutely correct. Some faults, right? You've got to be nitpicky when you're talking about this. It's a £20 knife. It's got carbon fibre. It's got micarta. It's got brass liners. It's got a blue liner sits on top of the brass liners just to give that hint of colour. These are all things you don't need to do in a £20 knife, but they're done. You have the R bolster. Don't like it. Move on. It's maybe not perfectly done at the top here, but I'm going to hold this, and I'm being serious now. I am putting as much pressure as I can't muscle movement in this knife. Can't muscle it. It is so tight. It is so good, and it will work for donkeys. Is it sharp? Look, the thing I like about carbon is like a toothy. This is the way I haven't touched this. I've been using it, and I haven't touched it up at all. It's got a really good edge on it. The bevels on the knife are not perfect, but they're pretty good. There's one there, and there's the other one there. They're both pretty symmetrical, and they'll do absolutely fine. I can redo this whenever I want, but it came really sharp, as most rough riders do, and knives should come. The backspacer is, the spine of the knife, the fit and finish is perfect. Couple of slender little tiny gops if you want to be pernickety, and that's all you'd be being, is pernickety, because, again, £20 knife, micarta, carbon steel, just nickel silver bolsters and pins. The little shield has got a little bit of a dip in it there. You can see where it's been put in. Doesn't look scruffy when you hold it straight on. Absolutely perfect. Love this knife. Really thank David for sending this knife to me for the channel. I absolutely love it, David, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate your generosity. So there you go. There's the knife. I highly recommend you get this. If you want an out-and-out work knife with a carbon steel blade, this is the option. It's fantastic. Fantastic. I love it. I can't say any more than that. So I'm going to go. This knife, get out there, go buy it. Heine has them, 20 quid. They're just beautiful. So that's it. I hope we cleared up the lamb's foot, sheep's foot, ram's foot. Take care, everybody. Paddy's away. All the very best to you. Bye now.